Speaker means the person who tells the story. So what did you think he did next? What do you think? But they haven't. They started to bring food, and what do you think they did afterwards? What do you think the speaker did?
The speaker broke up his tomatoes and put them on the cloth.
Yeah, but if you look further down, what happened after he put the tomatoes on the cloth, Carolina?
No one want to eat potatoes.
No, the tomatoes. No one wanted to eat the tomatoes. What do you
Because they don't have any.
What do you think he did? Because imagine yourself in the same situation.
So he get embarrassed.
He would be embarrassed, maybe. Do you think he would say or do something?
No, I think he was he felt uneasy.
Right. So
So
maybe you think he just became almost paralyzed.
yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Conch?
I say they eat a lot of food, but they don't eat tomatoes because nobody have any to cut.
Right. So maybe, but what did he do? The question is, what did the speaker, the guy or the person who put the tomatoes, what do you think he did when he realized that they didn't
He
eat?
felt uneasy.
Definitely, but listen to the question. What did he do? What do you think he did?
Yes, my.
You think he just smiled and tried to look as if nothing had happened? Victor, if you were in his position, what do you think you would do? Do you think you would kind of take the tomatoes and try a little bit?
Yeah, he's asking himself why
Yes.
did it happen?
He might ask himself.
Yes, probably he started to eat like apple.
Like maybe he started to eat the tomatoes himself just to show them.
To eat with like avocados.
Right, right. So maybe he thought they had never seen tomatoes before in their lives. So they don't know how to eat. Yeah, we don't know yet. Because I have taken away the ending. We are going to have a look at that later. Now, let's go a little bit back to the grammar. We have the past simple, the past continuous, and other ways to express the past. They have one thing in common. The past simple, the past continuous, and these others way. There were 7 people. I was traveling in the Sudan. I had to make. Can we say that all these actions are completed past actions? Yes, because this person is not traveling in Sudan today. He stopped traveling. We don't know when, but we can say that what all these past tenses and expressions have in common is that they relate to completed past actions. But then, if they express the same, why do we have different past tenses? We could only have one. Because there are some differences. There were 7 people. that only expresses a past fact. Yeah. You just register that something happened. Past continuous. I was traveling. Why do you think we use the continuous version of past here?
So it's like to express an action that is still continuous in the past, so
Yeah, that took some time.
that is some time.
We can, maybe we remember that they were eating. So when you want to express a past action that is completed, but it took some time, it had a duration. Like I was traveling for several weeks. We were eating for maybe 1 hour. Then you use the past continuous. So let us state these two things first. Here you just register or express a fact or an event. The past continuous expresses in addition that the activity had some duration. And then, when we combine the one verb in the past tense, like I had to make, began to bring, encouraged to eat, started to eat, was going to last. Then we give some more information about the action. For example, I had to make. It sounds almost like an obligation about the past. I didn't only make it, I felt like forced to make it. They began to bring. He could say they brought, but when he says they began to bring, it means little by little. They brought more food. Encouraged to eat. They invited him. In this meaning, in this context, encouraged to eat means they invited him. Please have something to eat. Started to eat. They began to eat. This is a fun one. The trip was going to last. What is the present version of this?
It's going to last.
Is going. And what is going to last? That is a future tense. But here we use it in the past. Was going to last. This is a very fun thing that we call the future in the past. It can't become more contradictional than that. But you actually say it in Spanish as well. Yeah.
Excuse me, we can consider other is more information about the verb in the past.
Exactly. Both the coming verb and the person.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was. He doesn't say it was, like stating a fact. I thought. I was not sure. Yeah,
Okay.
very good, very good. Now, I want you to go to the questions here, the two last questions. And I want you in pairs and you as a group to discuss and listen to each other's answers and ideas. Okay.
Everyone eat.
What did we said we can see el lamb and bread and beans and a lamb. And many different things and waiting. So many different kind of bread, lamb, beans, bread, lamb, beans, and different things. What do you think they did tomatoes?
I think because they have.
There's something. I think they have never seen a tomato in their lives, so that's why they don't eat it. Never. But yes, maybe it's because of the knife. Yes. That's, I don't know if in the last sentence, in the last
Question.
If there, because of there's no knife, people don't eat tomatoes,
No.
or maybe people never seen the live tomatoes and they don't eat it because they think it's a meat.
So we have two possible answers here.
Because it's true.
Javier thinks that maybe they didn't know what tomatoes were, so they think we are not going to eat this strange thing that this foreigner puts. Conchi thinks that, well, maybe they didn't know how do you eat a tomato if you don't have a knife, so you can cut it. Did you discuss what maybe happened next?
So I think Javier is right.
Right, you think Javier is correct.
Yes.
Very good. What do you think, Jesus?
Me too.
You agree with Javier.
Right.
What about you, Carolina?
Because they didn't have a knife.
Very good. Now listen carefully, because I'm going to read the real end to you. So, I thought probably it was because I was a foreigner, and perhaps the Sudanese people didn't want to take a foreigner's food from them. So, in fact, I ate the tomatoes myself. It was only some time later that I realized that in fact the reason that people hadn't eaten my tomatoes was because I had broken up the tomatoes with both hands. And you know, in Sudan, people are Muslims. And one hand is considered the dirty hand. So you don't touch fruit, nor human beings with that food. So imagine, they were sitting there, maybe they, how disgusting. He's eating the tomatoes that he has touched with a bad hand. That was everything. Has any of you had any similar experiences when traveling abroad, that all of a sudden something happened and you didn't really understand in the beginning why or what?
I remember one.
Yeah. Let's talk to each other about these
we went to a Chinese
experiences.
restaurant.
They can be big
And
things
I
and
asked
very
for-
small
when we
things.
asked for-
Okay, just speak to each other.
Bring out the packages. And I
Yeah,
was surprised.
I know what he says.
I asked for a
Normally,
fork.
so
It's normal to find
if you go to Muslim countries, everybody takes 3 or 4 hands. Maybe this was primitive, I don't know.
Fish.
Fish, you
I
guys.
never had a
Yes.
problem. I
It's actually
was in a lot of
Muslim
Muslim countries.
Yes. When we kill bulls in order
I
to.
was in Sudan too. Sudanese people are very nice.
Muslims. Muslims. No, Muslims.
After half an hour, they
Yes,
to say the book,
disabled
the
people.
book is a
Yes.
It's disgusting for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Chinese people do that as well. Not only Muslims.
Maybe we should listen to some of the stories. Victor, did you hear them telling something exciting about their
No.
past trips?
They don't find a similar situation.
But did any of them tell you anything?
No, they didn't tell me the same situation.
Right.
They didn't find a similar
Right.
situation.
So, yes.
Javier?
When I was in London, we went to a Chinese restaurant and we asked for the meal and I asked for a fork because I don't know how to eat with the palillochinos.
Yes, with
With
sticks.
sticks.
Yeah.
People get very annoyed and strange because I suppose that everyone in London eat with the sticks.
Right, they thought that since you came to a Chinese restaurant,
It's normal.
you also knew how to eat.
Yes.
Right.
In my
Can't you have
case,
traveled a lot?
surprising me when I knew the people in Japan eat rat food.
Right, yes.
Rat, no rat, cruda.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Raw food.
Raw food.
Oh, right,
It was
yes.
annoying for me.
Yes, yes. Very good. So, what is, Victor, what is the most different foreign country you have visited? Different from Spain?
Oh, different from Spain. Maybe Finland.
Right. Tell me one thing that was really, really different.
Yes, I was in Finland last summer, and the first thing that I think about the Finnish people was they are very, very silent people.
Yeah.
They don't speak in the streets.
Right.
And so you can walk in the streets and you never listen anything.
Right. You can't hear anything, no. You would notice the same if you went to other Scandinavian countries.
Maybe.
Very silent.
Very silent. So you are in Spain, you listen a lot of people around you talking and talking.
Exactly, exactly. What is the most different country from Spain that you have visited, say?
In Africa, maybe, a
Yes.
lot of people don't use clothes.
All right.
And they are naked. That is,
They are naked.
They're naked is no problem.
Right.
It's nature.
And did they find it strange that you were wearing clothes?
Yes, I was very strange for them.
Right, right. But you didn't fall for the temptation to take them off?
No. No, I have no problem, but you know.
No, very good. What about you? Have you had any very different experiences?
I think no, but because I'm from Ecuador,
Yeah.
when I was in Europe, for me it's all different.
Right.
And
Tell us about some different things you have seen in Europe.
I think the food it's a bit different.
Right.
And
Have you seen any food in Europe that you thought, I'm never going to eat that?
food, I don't know, but I remember a lot of the several types of fruit of my
Right.
country that here I don't find.
You haven't seen before?
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So, yes, and I think that here people are very open-minded that in comparison with my country.
Oh,
People- yes,
right.
yes.
You think people are more open-minded?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Regarding food or regarding other
In
things?
all the society in general, it's very different, and Ecuadorian people is more
Reserved?
reserved.
Right,
Yes, yes.
right. Now, the last thing we are going to do today is you are going to imagine that the government has told you, because you have been traveling so much. Now, try to agree on 5 pieces of advice that you would give to foreigners coming to Spain. What are maybe some specific things about Spain that foreigners should be aware of? For example, the times you eat could be different.
Okay.
And then try to find other things.
Together or individually?
No, together. Yeah, you can agree on
Take time, yeah.
at least 5 different pieces of advice.
In summertime.
And you can
no
start-
summer clothes.
You can start the sentences with you should.
Ah,
¿No? No es recomendable.
recommend health insurance.
Health insurance. For the UK, because to UK. For the other places, for example,
Something with an app, because it's very famous now. La siesta, but I don't know how to say. You should take an app.
Maybe,
What
yes,
about
and maybe
the
get lots
time
in the towns of Spain, and then,
For
Spain
example,
is our country,
people
and
come
we have
from
big
England,
cities, but
they
there's
are
a lot
used
of,
to
there's a lot
all
places
bars,
that you can go,
closing at 11.
like towns.
Could you maybe
And
give
there are
them a piece of
amazing-
advice about
amazing,
the time things open and close here?
and you can see landscapes in some states.
You can go to the one
Yes,
I recommend for another.
in summertime, use short clothes.
And what about the heat? For example, in July and August, do you think you should give them any
Use short
advice
clothes
about how to survive in the heat?
It's very hot in summer.
Put the air conditioner in your air conditioner in your house.
Yes, sir.
Is there any fruit they should try? Is there any food that maybe could look strange for a foreigner, you think?
Yes. So we found, well,
You have enough. Very good, very good.
Yes, crema
body protector. I don't know this.
Meat,
This
In English.
the food, and where
People from
lot of
the
people
north part
from Europe come
of
here.
Europe came here and get the
yes, you have.
All right.
The bars are open.
se queda que no se quema.
Hours.
Yes, but sí. When people from the north came here, the sun.
Oh, they get burned.
They get burned.
Yes. So, let's hear 2 pieces of advice that you would give the foreigners.
So yes, as I would say, try to go to see landscapes in Spanish towns.
Right, yes, very good.
Another than in summertime, use short clothes, use body protector and take a cap because you get burned.
Yes, you have to be very careful with how strong the sun is here. 2 pieces of advice from you.
I don't know, you should try to eat the callos and madrileñas, for example.
You should try the typical Spanish food, for example, callos madrileño. Yes. One more thing.
To eat, yeah.
It doesn't have to be to eat, it can be anything.
The weather, a lot of people from Europe come here to stay. A lot of them are living here because the weather is very nice. They can
Right.
go to the beach along the.
And what advice would you give them?
Advice. They don't need to bring a lot of clothes because you can go to naked beaches.
Or you can just take some t-shirts.
T-shirts.
T-shirts, yes.
Yeah, but not necessarily. You go to Albania, you don't need t-shirt. You are naked.
All right, you will tell all foreigners, come naked to
Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah, why not? That is better.
Very
The
good.
thing important is the health insurance that we have in Spain is very good.
Yeah.
So we recommend for foreign people that health insurance.
Especially in the UK.
Yeah.
No, in UK, no, in the United States, because in
Exactly.
UK there are good healthy also.
Perfect. Very well participated. The class is finished.
Thank you very much.
And the next class will be